So far in our quest to understand human behaviour, we've looked at individuals and we've looked at how individuals behave in groups. In this episode, we're going to look at society, culture and social norms and see how they influence individual behaviour. Social networks come in all shapes and sizes, and they are known by many different and familiar names. Whilst each type of social network is different, they all share a number of common features. All social networks emerge from the interaction and interconnection of individuals in populations, and they all have common properties. They have groups or clusters of individuals. They have culture, a way of life. They have society, a functional organisation, and they have social norms, expected behaviours. The different types of network are shorthand labels for different combinations of those social properties. For example, a family is a kinship group with its own subculture, and a nation is a monocultural society with many groups. Whilst they share common properties, each social network will have its own identity and characteristics. No two families are identical, and neither are any two nations. In the last episode, we looked at groups in some considerable detail. In this episode, we will look at the other features of social networks. We'll look at norms, society, and culture. And we'll see that those three are closely connected. Social norms are the expected ways of doing things within a social network. Social norms emerge from two different sources, culture and society. Norms can be formal, like laws, rules and regulations, or they can be informal, custom and practice. A person who follows social norms is compliant. Their behaviour is pro-social. Anyone behaving outside the norms is deviant. Their behaviour is antisocial. Social norms are not inherently or objectively good or bad, right or wrong. They are simply what is expected in a given social network. And different social networks have different norms. A behaviour which is compliant in one social network can easily be deviant in another. Culture is a collective way of life. It's a collective way of seeing the world and a collective way of being in the world. There are four features of culture which give rise to social norms. The first is ideology, the result of mental connections between people, a meeting of minds. Ideology is shared beliefs, values, judgments and attitudes in a social network. The norms which emerge are the result of shared judgments about right and wrong, good and bad, useful or not. They are morals, ethics, decrees and diktat. Next, there's ritual. People come together for a variety of reasons, to share, celebrate, commemorate or to be entertained. At these events, people are expected to behave in very particular ways. These behavioural norms are rites and rituals. Next comes personality. Every culture has its own styles, which give it a recognisable personality, often called material culture. There are styles of appearance, architecture, dress and decoration. Styles of hardware, the things people use, tools, weapons, transport, machines. And there are styles of cuisine, what people eat and drink and how. Styles of behaviour, language, music, art and dance. Individuals are expected to adopt the norms of style, to merge their own personality with that of the culture. Finally, there are icons, things which have value and meaning as symbolic representations of the identity and ideology of culture. Icons are revered and sacred items, and the way people behave towards them becomes social norms. People will stand, kneel, salute or bow in the presence of icons. They will talk, chant and sing to icons as though they were conversing with whatever it is that the icon represents. Society is the functional organisation of a social network. It's designed to deliver the needs and aspirations of the people in the network. The organisation of society has two components, structural and functional. The structural component of society is infrastructure, the hardware and physical networks which keep society connected, buildings, roads, railways, gas, electricity and the internet. The functional components are systems which deliver the needs of people. In systems, activities are organised into processes and roles, and those processes and roles are organised into fully functioning systems. There are a wide range of systems: production systems like agriculture, construction, manufacturing, distribution, mining, energy, trade and finance. There are governance systems, politics, legislation, administration and regulation. And there are social systems, education, welfare, retail, leisure, health and defence. The social norms of society are the roles and processes in the systems, and the expected behaviour is for individuals to fulfil the demands of their roles and of the processes. In the episode on groups, we concluded with a model of behaviour which combined individual autonomy with systems of governance which align behaviour in the group. We can now add social norms to our model and complete the picture. Social norms give us a further source of alignment in every kind of social network. An important part of individual development is for individuals to learn social norms. They do this by observation and imitation, and by teaching. It's a process called socialization. Individual action is determined by a combination of autonomy, governance and norms. Norms provide the background, a framework within which everything else happens. The framework of norms is consistent and enduring, often lasting well beyond an individual's lifetime. Within the framework of norms, situations arise and things happen all the time. They come and they go and they are different to norms. Each event is different and norms don't apply. Each one requires its own decisions to be made and actions to be taken. When those decisions are made collectively and the actions are coordinated, they're the results of governance. When decisions are taken individually and individuals act on their own decisions, they're the result of autonomy. Put all this together and you get individual behaviour, all the things that all people do. The way all this works looks and can be quite complicated, but it also can be normal and familiar. Here's an example. In the UK, it's normal for families to go on holiday in the summer. For that to happen, processes have to be followed, roles have to be fulfilled by parents and children, decisions have to be made collectively and individually, actions have to be taken collectively and individually. Infrastructure and systems should function efficiently, roads, railways, hospitality and entertainment. And if all that happens as it should and the holiday is effective, everyone's needs and hopes are satisfied. The holiday was an event with behaviour a combination of norms, governance and autonomy. Groups, societies and cultures are stable but not necessarily static. Human populations adapt to survive, with a combination of biological evolution and socio-cultural evolution in a process known as co-evolution. Socio-cultural evolution leads to changes in groups, society and cultures which result in emergent types of social network that we saw earlier. In this episode, we've looked at culture, society and networks in the general sense. In future episodes, we will look at the evolutionary processes and the emergent social networks in a lot more detail. We've covered a lot of ground in this episode in our search to understand human behaviour. So let's take a moment to summarise. An individual is simply a single person. Individuals have agency and autonomy. They behave in ways which satisfy their own needs and aspirations. A population is a countable set of people in a defined boundary. A group is a connected set of people with strong interpersonal bonds. A society is a set of people connected by roles and processes. A culture is a set of people connected by the way they see the world and the way they are in the world. A social network is a set of interconnected people with some or all of the features of groups, society and culture. Social norms are the expected behaviours which emerge within groups, cultures and societies, and individuals align with others and behave collectively to meet their shared needs and aspirations. Every one of us is capable of a wide range of actions. And whilst norms and governance can influence our behaviour, not everyone is always compliant. Neither are their actions always aligned. Often individuals can be deviant, they can act selfishly, or they can be antisocial. All this leaves us with a number of questions. What determines the way an individual will act? Given a number of actions to select from, how will they make the selection? Will they act with autonomy, or will their actions be aligned? If we can answer those questions, it'll take us a step further to understanding human behaviour, and that's what we'll try to do in the next episode.